This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Hey everybody.
Hi guys.
We're on holidays at the moment.
Oh, I'm loving it.
And
Sick.
loving it.
We've gotten a collection of some of the finest work that we've done throughout the year. Oh, guys.
And then we padded it out with some rubbish.
Don't undersell it, no.
Yeah.
Don't undersell it.
And this, of course, being a live broadcast. Today's best bits are all about...
From the Vault 2016.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh my God, right to the point you are.
Enjoy.
This is Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
John Cleese's Faulty Towers live on stage. It's coming to the Regal Theatre November 17 to December 18. Tickets are on sale at ticketmaster.com.au. It's already opened in Sydney to rave reviews.
You want to get them fast for sure.
And John Cleese is in the house.
It was one of the most pleasant moments of my life on Saturday because I got very fond of the cast. I've only been working with them about nearly 2 weeks. They're such a nice bunch of guys and girls.
I've heard you say they're really talented, but would you say that if you were to travel, other parts of the world,
because I started coming here about 72.
Yeah.
Eric Idle used to do a commercial for a chocolate bar, I think, or something called Nudge. Seriously.
Nudge,
and he didn't
bar.
want to do the second series, so they rang me up and said, do you want to come and fill in for Eric? And I came out here, and the first thing I started doing was going to little shows all over the place, and they were so good. And I was astonished at the quality of the acting. And I would meet them afterwards and tell them how good they were. But none of them could make a living here because the population's relatively small.
And the industry's sort of, not as huge as what it is.
But I saw how good they were. And then about 25 years later, Hollywood noticed, right?
Yeah.
You think of the number of
Oscars.
Oscars.
They're overrunning
I know.
now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I said, when they said, let's do this open in Australia, I said, well, there won't be a casting problem. And they all said, are you really sure? And I said, absolutely. I was so proud of that cast. And I saw them Saturday night, which is first night. And there people get anxious, and the audience on first night's a bit odd because there's a lot of invited people and it can be sticky.
Entitled people.
And they went out and they did a phenomenal performance. I couldn't believe how good they were, and they kept it the whole way up, the whole of the first half.
Yeah.
And I was so proud of them. I said, I'm not going to watch the second half because it might go off.
Go out on a high.
So I went in my dressing room and put my feet up, and then went on at the end and got hold of Stephen Hall's hand and held it up like he was the new heavyweight champion.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's
talking
fantastic.
about impressive performances, I'm going to give you your headphones right now because I want you to have a listen to this. Ever since we knew that you're going to be on our show, I've been checking out not only clips of you, but clips of your daughter, Camilla.
Oh, good.
She is bloody funny. She is great. She's a stand-up comic, and also she's doing a lot of comedy skits out there. I've watched so many of them. They're really clever, really off-centre. You can tell she's your daughter. So for people that haven't heard Camilla do stand-up before, here's a bit of what she does, and it's about you.
That's nice.
I got a surprise recently. Very exciting news. We have a new child in the family. My new stepmom. My dad, he's 75 now and just married lucky number 4, his soulmate du jour. It's actually pretty cool. We have a lot in common. We're both 6 foot, blonde, and way too young to be married to my dad.
That's pretty funny,
She
John.
goes on to this great nickname that she calls her now in public, which is Mum. And then there was a bit in there. It's so, when someone's good when you want to repeat it back to people.
Yeah.
And there's another bit in there where she goes, they're having an argument. And she goes, don't you speak to me like you're my mother. And then she goes around and she goes, you can't leave in that outfit. And then she goes, don't you speak to me like your mother. And she goes, no, because you're stretching out my dress. She's great.
She's really, really good. And the nice thing is she's got exactly my sense
She
of
does.
humor.
Yeah.
And also this lovely new wife I've got. They both got the same sense of humor. They're very, very naughty, just like me.
Nothing sacred in your household, is it?
What?
Nothing sacred.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Except for the cats.
Yeah.
But, John, a lot of people might find that offensive, when you got to be politically correct around people or you don't want to offend someone.
It's the politically correct people. One of the problems about them is they don't have much sense of humor themselves. And a sense of humor is a sense of proportion. I knew a psychiatrist who used to talk about people having a loss of sense of humor problem, you know?
Yeah.
And if you see how ridiculous life is and everyone competing for no good reason because we're all going to be dead anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not, and you know, people having enormous quantities of money and then being completely miserable, which is very satisfying when you see that.
Isn't that?
You know, everybody's crazy here, and you can't take it too seriously unless people are in real pain.
Yeah.
You can't laugh at someone who's in real pain.
But everybody else is fair go.
Well, in Faulty Towers, I pretend to stick my finger in Manuel's eye, and everyone screams with laughter.
Do you think
it's not serious.
Do you think people's, society standards have changed and we've all become a little bit too uptight about it?
Yeah.
Do you think Faulty Towers would be made now?
No, a lot of that wouldn't. You couldn't, for example.
Be too offensive.
There's two ways of criticising people. There's either a frontal way, you criticize them, you attack them, and you might do that humorously. And the other way is to become them and to say the things that they say, but being ridiculous and therefore discrediting what the character
turning the mirror on them,
But when we had, for example, Alf Garnett in, what was it called?
Love Thy Neighbour.
Yes. No, Till Death Do Us Part. Isn't that right? Yes. And he used to enunciate these very extreme right-wing views.
Yes.
And there were some people who said, well, thank God at last this is being said on television. They didn't realize that they were being ridiculed.
Yeah.
So you can't cut everything out that might offend anyone, because then the people who are relatively normal won't have much to laugh at.
Exactly.
And it
That's very
seems
true.
that all the offended people seem to be on social media. Are you on social media
Yes,
at all?
he is.
Yeah, I am a bit.
Are you
and
liking
I
that?
follow you on
arguments with
Twitter.
them. Yeah, I have arguments with them
You
because
do.
after all, I do know a bit about humour, and the whole point is don't be really mean to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the principle.
And you don't back off from stating that. I followed you on Twitter for some time, and whenever somebody is overly critical or takes offence at something ridiculous, you take it to them.
should.
And imagine being
I think
told
it's
off by John
absurd. I mean,
Cleese.
this will probably offend people, but I do not see what is bad about saying. Sorry, what is good about saying a person of colour and what is unforgivable about saying a coloured person? To me, what's the difference?
Yeah.
How can you get upset
You know what
about
it is?
something like that when Syria is going on?
Yeah.
And it should
Yeah.
be. And what I get strung up in a lot of the times these days is people get stuck on words and the way they come out and stuff, instead of thinking of the intent behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the intent's kind and it's not
That's
cruel,
exactly right.
then concentrate on that. Don't concentrate on the delivery.
That's right. It's all about, is it done with affection? Like I have a joke about the French. I said, why do they have so many civil wars? And the answer is so that they can win one now and again. But it doesn't mean that we hate the French.
No, and you would have heard 1,000 of them, people getting into you maybe about being a pom.
Oh, yeah. First time I got to Australia, I remember somebody said to me, where do you hide a key so that a pom won't find it? You know this one?
I know the answer, yes.
Under the soap.
Yes.
I mean, that's
the inference
that's
being
quite
that
rude.
you never take a shower.
Take a shower.
Because you guys are unclean.
They have a bath about once a week.
Well, we used to have a bath once a week in England, and out here you've got to have 3 showers a day.
Yeah,
it
well, we
takes
sweat a
little
lot
use.
more.
What
Yeah.
about whinging poms? Because that's a comment we'd
Oh,
always
well, my
say.
favourite joke is how can you tell that a pommy plane has landed at Perth Airport, Because the whining goes on after they switch the engines off. And that's a very good joke. My favourite one about the Aussies is they're very well balanced. They have a chip on each shoulder.
Yes.
That's a great call.
Hey, we've got a
But
lot
you
of
see,
pommies.
here we are making jokes about each other and enjoying
It's
it.
fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've got a lot of pommies listening to us. Brexit.
Oh, I wanted to.
You supported, didn't you?
I was in favour of it. So a lot of people were. For example, CJ, who directed most of the Faulty Towers show till I came along and sort of added the finishing touches. She was because the real argument is: do you want your country basically run by 5,000 bureaucrats sitting in Brussels, none of whom have ever been elected? And I think we're better out of it. But financially, I'm not sure, and I think it'll take 2 years.
Right,
before
but
We read that a lot of people voted in favour of leaving the EU on the basis of thinking maybe the immigration policy was one of those things, the refugees coming around.
Yeah. This is happening all over Europe now. I mean, it's a terrible problem. The Europeans, they never minded having Italians and French
Yes.
and we always liked the Poles because they did sort of fantastic job in the war. Did you know there was a a squadron of Polish pilots in the RAF during the war.
Were there?
And they were the crazy brave ones too. So there was a great affection.
I
for
thought
those,
you were
but
setting
when
something
people
for a
start
joke
coming, when people come up from the Middle East, we'll say, well, I tell you what, why doesn't everyone come to England? And then the only problem will be where we live.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, John, we've been caught up in the Olympics over the last couple of weeks. Did you ever get into that? The UK did pretty well.
Yes, we've done really well for three Olympics now,
Yeah.
Beijing and London, and I don't know. What I like about it is not just that we've done well, but they seem such decent people.
Yes.
Except for Ryan Lochte.
Oh,
well, yeah, he's-
right, no,
yeah, American.
An American asshole.
Yeah.
Yes.
by definition.
Yeah.
But the others are just so, and they're so happy, and
Yes.
there's a terrific team spirit, and you just think, isn't it nice to see really nice,
Yeah.
decent
is.
people
My
doing well?
favourite Team GB athlete is Mo Farah.
Oh,
what an
people
extraordinary
adore
man.
him. Yeah,
I
they
know.
People absolutely adore him.
Yeah.
I love the way that this has all turned around as well because I'd say like a couple of months ago you would like break your arm to sleep with an Olympian. Now, since they've come back to Australia, there's a warning not to sleep with them for 8 weeks so you might catch the Zika virus. So no one will go.
Among other viruses.
Yeah, among the other things I got in Rio.
Very good.
Hilarious, yeah. So, hey, I wanted to ask you about when people come up to us in the street,
Yeah.
they ask if we can get them concert tickets, right? Straight away. When people come up to you, they must want movies. They must want everything from your back catalogue.
I'll tell you what, it's very strange. And I think it's quite interesting. They want a picture with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Now,
new
30,
autograph.
40 years ago, it was a picture of me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now it's with me.
Yeah.
It's the celebrity culture. They want
Yeah.
to be able
Yes.
to say to their friends, look, there's me with Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find it very weird because my generation had a photograph with people. It was because you'd worked together like we have now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you've had dinner with them or gone to a party. But
Yes.
people come up to me in the street and I literally, the first thing I feel is a tap on the arm. Can I have a picture with you?
Yeah, they don't even say hello,
Yeah.
do they?
No, they don't even say hello. And then I say now, no, but why don't you ask the guy over there?
And just pick out a random.
Just the random.
Right?
Can I tell you, John, that when you wouldn't, you're a recognisable face everywhere you go. I'm not. I went to India last year and random Indians would ask for my photo. So they would say, can we have a photo with you? School kids. I'm like, they don't know who I am.
That's because they're looking at a girl that has man feet.
They literally, and I'm thinking, I'm the Facebook profile picture of all these people in India for no discernible reason other than that I look different to them.
They've seen your
Well, I
home
think
movie.
Isn't that
that's a
extraordinary?
lot to do with this celebrity culture is that there's no real reason for it.
Yeah.
People
peculiar.
are obsessed with the names of somebody's dog or something. And occasionally you meet a celebrity, like I saw a picture of Taylor Swift out there. I did a TV show with her. I thought she was wonderful.
Yes.
Funny and charming and quick. And,
Can
and
sing.
also can sing and also sort of demure in a very,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
attractive way. And I can understand why people are interested in her. But when they're interested in people who are number 3 in a not particularly good sitcom, I think, why would you be interested? Would you not have anything in your life other than this?
Think about it though. We're all before we sit down and eat a meal these days, we take a photo of it. We need to.
Yeah. So
People
it's not
have-
just celebrities.
People have a need to record everything. For some reason, they feel like we're all interested.
But and
That's-
record
we're
it
not.
to the detriment of the experience.
Yes.
Like they, so they're taking pictures of stuff rather than just doing it.
Do you take
no,
photos
I
of your
saw
food?
that. Sorry?
Do you take photos of your food?
No, I have to say I don't. No, I don't take many photographs except of the cats.
Yes.
My wife takes fabulous pictures of our
Why the
cat.
cats, John? I'm not a big fan of cats.
Aren't you?
No.
Oh, we were getting on
Because they're very
well.
arrogant.
Yeah, well,
I know,
we
they're just
find
like-
that
they do their own thing. They-
dogs lick their bums because they don't know any better. Cats lick their bums because they can. And there's something deeply disturbing about that.
That's very good. All right.
There's a picture. Your cats have lovely eyes.
Oh, that's
Look.
Yeah, that's a great
Felix.
photo. That's a guy.
Felix. He's the one I poo shamed. Did you see that?
No, what
He
happened?
started pooing on the balcony, and I took a photograph. My wife took a photograph of him in the act. And we put it on the
I did
internet.
see that one.
And he was so embarrassed he stopped.
Here we are. So, and is he doing that in front of his litter tray?
Well,
Is
yes,
that
in
what
front
that
of the
is?
litter tray,
Yeah.
as if to say, screw you.
Yes, exactly. That is a statement.
You
That's
really
what that
did
is.
poo shame. He poos very elegantly though.
He's pooing very elegantly, but he's not supposed to poo on the balcony. But
It's good that
anyway,
you've got
once he
rules.
realised that 5,400,000 people had seen him doing it.
No one ever wants to see themselves doing it.
No, but what I thought was so splendid was that my wife actually got that shot.
Yeah,
I
That's
know.
a great shot.
Now, if that had been
That's
Mick
actually
Jagger, I would never have to work again.
That's a good point, though. She waited to watch Felix take the poo.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
She could have said, hey, to stop him.
Yeah, stop.
taking the
But
poo.
no.
But he was saying it wasn't him.
I see.
No, he was saying it was Teddy.
Deny.
So we were able to confront him with that.
That conversation go.
it's pretty full on, Sean. It's a bit personal.
How many cats do you have?
We got four, three
Four,
three
yeah.
are Maine Coons, and they're absolutely enormous. The biggest
Yes.
is 22 pounds. And then
That's
there's
10 kilos.
I know, he's absolutely huge. I mean, it's quite funny because plumbers come in or electricians come into the front. These big butch guys come in and they see the cat and go,
Oh, really?
They
Because
said, but they're absolutely sweet, but they're huge.
Isn't
and the
that
other ones are ragdoll. Ragdoll.
Do they have, the Maine Coons have extra toes?
No,
'Cause I had a friend who had a Maine
somebody
Coon.
used to connect. Ernest Hemingway used to collect cats with too many toes.
Yes. I had a friend that had a Maine Coon with too many toes.
I don't know why, but I feel like, and I always have feel like more than 2 cats is too much. Isn't that
It's like
weird?
a
Isn't that weird?
single
Draw the line
old
at
lady.
3, do you?
I think
so.
I just
No,
just
at
now
2,
realised
no more.
I think 2
Well,
and then that's
I
it.
had before the divorce, I had a ranch and I had 24 cats. But they were spread out.
24?
So did you lose the cats in the divorce?
Yes, she got custody of most of them.
Wait, there are 24 cats. Explain this.
Well, I had a little ranch, and it was wonderful. And we had cats all over the ranch, in different parts of the ranch. 2 here, 3 there, 5 there. And,
How big was the ranch?
A metre by a metre.
they're very good with llamas. They know how to herd them.
Cats
Cats
do.
can herd llamas.
Well, no,
True.
I made that up.
They totally would have believed it. They would have believed it.
I've got alpacas that my mum
Have
mum
you?
and dad do. Yeah, well, they're similar, aren't they? Spit and
They're
stuff.
related to Kerry Packer.
Yeah, they are, actually.
Yeah, but they didn't get any of the
I didn't
money.
get any of the cash. That's disappointing.
Should have got one of them. You know,
So-
got a bit of money out of it.
You had a ranch with 24 cats on it.
Yeah, true.
Did they all have a name?
What?
Did they all have a
Oh,
name?
they all had a name. I knew them all well, yeah.
I knew them all well.
I just love them. I just think they're great because dogs are little Nazis, really. Dogs come along and say, "Ooh, master, master, who should I bite next?" You know, they can't wait to please their master by
Yeah, well, that's
biting
good.
someone.
Well, not
whereas
necessarily biting someone, but please their
Are you
master.
angry with dogs or wolves?
No, dogs. They're just they're little Nazis. They want to enjoy the sort of canine youth movement.
Yeah, but cats get in your house and they think they dominate and,
Yeah,
and own
they
the whole
own the joint.
area.
Of course, but they let us live there.
Barely. Begrudgingly, they let you live there, don't
Well,
they?
that's
Don't
all
forget
right.
that.
That's all right. You keep in with them, they'll behave very well.
Do you have horses or anything at the ranch when you had
Oh
it?
yeah, we had lots of horses. I had 2 llamas. I had alpacas. I had a goat.
Just a random goat.
Goat, just the one lonely
You must
goat.
have some chickens floating around.
Oh yeah,
surely.
we had lots of chickens. Yeah, and I had an aviary. It was a wonderful, wonderful place. Now I have a 1-bedroom flat, 1,100 square feet.
With 4 cats
And a
that poo on the
mortgage.
balcony.
And a mortgage.
I remember seeing you perform, I think at Montreal, and you said, I'm basically doing this tour because I've got to pay for the divorce. Is that been the reality for
Absolutely
you?
true, of course. Well, when somebody, the judge, basically you split the property. But you see, the ridiculous thing is I'd already given her half a house, but you don't get any credit for that.
Yeah, right.
Do you see that that's
Yeah.
become her property?
Yeah, okay.
You
Yeah.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't you don't do very well. And even after she kept 2 of the properties and we sold the other 3, but even after that, you've got to pay a lot of money. You've got to earn a lot of money. You just hand it over, and that's why I started doing tours.
It's amazing though, because we have a skew perception of. We spoke to Steve Wozniak yesterday, co-founder of
yeah,
Apple,
yeah.
and we were under the assumption that he would have $200 million in the
Well,
bank.
yeah. Yeah, that's what it was reported.
But we found out that he actually gave away all of his money because he wasn't interested in making money. He was interested in putting technology out of the road, and he had to pay off a mortgage. And hearing that about you as well, I automatically would think from Faulty Towers being played everywhere all the time, from all your movies, you would have royalties and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do have royalties, but you see, when you've got to find something like $10 million, that's a lot. Seriously, that's a lot of money.
A lot of coins.
Are you still paying
going out on
support to-
tour? Now, let me tell you, going out on tour was good because you knew when it started, you knew when it finished, and there would be a guarantee. And if you did well, you get a bit more than the guarantee. So you knew the money was coming in. Otherwise, you'd be sitting there shaking with fear, waiting for the phone to ring. You see what I mean?
It's amazing.
So are you still paying support to all of the ex-wives?
No. That's all done. I finished that
Okay,
about
good.
a year ago. But there's still
About a year ago.
a small dent in my finances.
It does show how that you've got an amazing sense of humour to be married 4 times.
Well, it's
So far.
The
I mean,
nicest
don't
thing
limit him.
and I want people to enjoy this, is that the age of, I think I was 68, I can't remember, something like that, I met the love of my life. Now, that's encouraging. I want people to know, just keep trying.
That's right. You got it right eventually.
Hey, as the weddings went on, did they get less extravagant?
No. The last one was the least extravagant because we decided we didn't want the press coming in and screwing it up. So we did it in Mustique, where there's real privacy.
Lovely. Yes.
Real privacy, because the Mustique company owns the island, or rather they lease it from the government on the mainland.
Yeah.
And we had it there because we knew that we could control things.
Did anybody send a drone over or anything like that?
No, but if they would have done, if they'd, they'll do anything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they'll dress up as a nurse and go into a hospital and try and get pictures
shocking,
of people.
really, isn't it?
It is absolutely shocking, and that's why one of the reasons I don't get a very good press in England is I'm a member of a group called Hacked Off, which are people who are fed up basically with the bad behaviour of the British press.
Yes.
And we're trying to get some stuff in, but of course the trouble is the government, particularly the Cameron government, was so close with the press people. I mean, Andy Coulson, who went to jail, was Cameron's press man.
Was that when they were
number 10.
taking everyone's phone call, like
that's
intercepting their voicemails and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Andy Coulson was in number 10 as Cameron's, what do you call him, press
like press secretary, media advisor,
And he went to jail for his for hacking when he was editor of the Daily Mail, and then Cameron was a very, very close friend of Rebecca Brooks, who was
so
Andy
friends
Coulson's
at the top.
lover and was the editor of the News of the World immediately after Andy Coulson. And she got off. She wasn't sent to work because she'd had 3 million emails destroyed by her employees. And the judge her counsel managed to persuade the judge it was a perfectly normal thing to do, to destroy all the evidence. It was beyond.
It's hard for us to fathom because we don't have a press here that's that rabid.
You don't.
But we do take cues off the US and the UK. Well,
I've talked to a lot of guys in the media recently, and it's all what I like about the media here is you're basically interested in the story.
Yeah.
You're not just looking for some angle.
No.
And that's why it's very pleasurable doing interviews because we just have fun.
Yes.
Why aren't you doing a TV show right now? There's been an emergence of new shows that are taking over really the shine of movies. Game of Thrones is one of them. A lot of the HBO specials and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are you interested in doing something like?
Well, I don't watch much television now. It's almost embarrassing, but I tell you what, I find the world increasingly interesting and increasingly puzzling. And whenever I have a bit of time, I want to read a book and find out what the hell is going on.
Maybe you need to write that book.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to read it. I've got to read some stuff first.
Yeah.
I do have a show in mind, which is, I think, possibly a stage show that will be called "Why There Is No Hope."
It's an upbeat little number. A musical, perhaps.
But I can prove it. I can prove it. Have you read The Black Swan?
No.
By a guy called Taleb, Taleb. He's a Lebanese-born trader in New York, he was. But you could read the book, and it tells you one thing, which is that nobody can predict the future.
Yeah.
And there's a guy called Philip Tetlock who did a lot of research. He went to 284 pundits in America, people who made their living of us, telling people about politics and economics, and he asked them what was going to happen in 5 years and 10 years. Completely
And nobody got it
hopeless.
right.
Nobody. Completely hopeless. And the worst of all were the best known ones.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because they couldn't believe that they were wrong, so when a bit of evidence came in that they were
Refused to
wrong,
believe it.
they
Yeah.
just pushed it to one side.
The only thing we can bank on is in the next 10 years, the iPhone still won't be waterproof. So,
That's guaranteed.
No,
Gets me
that's
angry.
right. That's
Well,
right. But there's very important for people to realise that there's absolutely no hope that this world will ever be a sensible, well-run.
somehow hearing it from you doesn't make it seem so bad.
it makes it fun.
But it doesn't. I was told once, Bertrand Russell, the philosopher, had once said, you can't really enjoy life till you realise what a mess the world is. Because otherwise you start trying to do something about it.
Yes.
And all you can do is be nice to the people around you. That's
Yes.
within your power.
That's a good
But if
start.
you think we're going to change the world, the answer is forget it. Most people can't change themselves. If they could start with themselves, then they could go on to the world.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Some people have a taste for their own genetics.
Rob Kardashian has admitted that one of his early crushes was, in fact, his sister Kim.
Yeah.
Weird.
So
Yeah,
we spoke
that's
to Katie
weird.
Lamb, who hi Katie. Katie told us about her attraction to her cousin.
All I'm saying is he's very obviously attractive. Okay?
And you would go
You're
there
really
if you weren't
backtracking there,
related.
Related.
Really backtracking.
What's his name?
Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Matt. Matt, Katie wants to know what you're wearing.
Hey, Matt, super embarrassing. How are you feeling about this?
I mean, it's been there for a while. It's been pretty obvious. Every night.
Are family gatherings a bit awkward, Matt?
Well, they're going to be now, yeah.
Yeah, I know. So when you're, I've seen you guys play ping pong matches for Christmas and stuff like that. Did you start disrobing like halfway through?
Yeah, well, can't keep a good eye off you after a few drinks. So.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm going to say Katie's not unattractive. Have you ever? Do you ever think Katie's a bit of a right?
No.
Well, come on, guys.
Because
We're on radio.
it's not technically illegal, is it? Your first cousin?
I don't know.
Didn't
I'm sure it'd feel wrong, wouldn't it, Matt?
But the good kind of wrong.
There's a bit of love.
Slightly naughty.
So are your mum sisters or what else they got?
My dad is his mum's sister.
Brother.
Dad, brother.
Yeah.
That'll make,
Dad brothers.
That'll make
Dad
it all
brothers.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. Well, you know what?
Super awkward, Matt.
Good
Yeah.
chat, Matt. Can't wait to catch up again. Okay, see ya. Bye. Love you.
She means that.
Yeah.
She means that.
Let's go to Kristen in West Perth. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, how you guys going?
Kristen.
Things have got super orcs around here. Talk to us. What's going on in your life?
Well, when I was younger, about maybe 15, and my cousin was 16, give you a quick backstory. He's from Norseman, enough said. Now, when we went down to do a bit of a family gathering, we haven't seen them since we were babies kind of thing. So we went down there for my mum, visiting family that we haven't really, we don't really get along with them that well, but do it for your mum. Anyway, so we're down there and we're playing hide and seek, and he ends up coming to join me in my little spot to hide and go seek.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there next to me and he's like, so asking all these personal questions, like, my age, and I've got a boyfriend and thinks I'm quite attractive, and I was like, okay, this is weird because we're like cousins. It gets really personal. Asked for my number, and I was just like, okay, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm just overthinking this. Give him the number. We're family. Oh, good. Let's have extra friends in your life. That's fine. We're staying there down a week. I'd wake up, and he would be outside the door looking in, kind of thing. Be like, kind of peering in to see what I'm
Watching
doing.
you sleep. Yes.
Yeah, this is getting a bit weird. And then towards the end of the end of the trip, he then just confessed his love for me and how he wants me to stay in Norseman and live our lives together.
What an offer.
You could be the princess of Norseman.
No.
Right near that big metal horse.
Yes. Norseman. Indeed. Yes.
The metal horse.
Yeah.
It's in Norseman.
Kristen, spectacular.
yeah.
So,
And
what happened? You lived happily ever after?
Well, no, it kind of quickly went back to Perth, and then I had a boyfriend at the time, so then he proceeded to keep continuing to message me, and then when my boyfriend went down at the time to go to Esperance, for some reason he just so happened to be in Esperance, he then claims that my boyfriend was cheating on me, he's done all this, and he knew I should have stayed with him, and I'm thinking that's it, blocking the
That's
you better go.
super awkward
Wow.
because your boyfriend's your brother, isn't it?
Of course, yes.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
We've discovered one thing about Sean McManus. He's a wuss. Well, we knew that. But another example, couldn't handle it on the teacup ride in Kittyland at Adventure World.
To my defence, I was thinking about this. My
What's your
6-year-old
defence?
daughter, she wouldn't go on the Kraken with me, which is amazing.
She's 6.
So,
You're a grown man.
I know, but, it's 1-1.
All right.
Hang on to that.
We want to celebrate Wussy Dads right now. Emma's in Stratton. Hi, Em.
Hi.
Hey.
Guys.
Now, is there a wussy dad in your life?
There is.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is, when we were growing up, not a small guy. He was over 100 kilos, big bushy beard, drove a motorcycle, not typical sort of
Father.
wussy man.
Yeah, no.
But he cannot handle the smell of wet dog food at all.
So, like a tin of Pal, for example, can't do it.
Yep. Chum, Pal, doesn't matter the brand, can't handle it at all.
He's fine. Say if dry dog food got wet.
I'd probably say he couldn't handle that either.
So, you had a dog, obviously, as kids.
Yeah, we had a Staffy Cross, and if we forgot to feed him, Dad would muster up the guts to do it. But you could always hear when he fed the dog.
So he's dry reaching as he's feeding the dog canned dog
sound
food.
that he used to make was absolutely horrendous. You could hear it from the other side of the house, hear it from outside. We accidentally would forget to feed the dog just to
see him do it. Could he handle like the giant pet polony things? Could he handle those?
If he did it quick, so it'd pretty much like chop it in half and like lob it.
And then run and lob it.
Yeah.
You see, because I thought if there's anything disturbing about feeding a dog canned dog food, is the sound the dog food makes when it's coming out.
Yeah. That is disturbing. Let's go to Trent in Atwell. Hello.
Hey, Trent.
Hey,
good buddy.
Trent, are you a wussy dad?
Yep.
Oh, mate,
Celebrate.
proud of you.
Celebrate it,
Okay,
Trent.
tell us, why are you a wuss, Trent?
This one's about half an hour before our kid was born, and we're in the operating room. My wife was having a cesarean.
Oh, no.
And
Okay, we're with you.
and when they were going to give her an epidural, so I was sitting in front of my wife holding her hand.
Yes.
And, they brought out the big needle to give her the epidural.
Yes.
And I just passed out.
So, hang on. You passed out before the needle even touched her?
Yeah, I think so.
And my favourite part is, and it wasn't even going anywhere near you.
No.
Nah. So all the doctors and nurses rushed to me, and they were giving me orange juice to try and wake me up and stuff.
You made your wife's cesarean all about you. Well done,
Yeah.
Trent. Let's
Yep.
take some doing.
So, Trent, when you wake up and everyone's around you and stuff, how long did it take for you to get your bearings and what happened?
Took a couple of minutes, and then I was all right, and then still got to cut the cord and all that stuff.
And you didn't pass out when you cut the cord. That seems the most traumatic thing that you're going to do that day.
Just the side of a needle.
Hey, I heard it's really hard to cut the cord, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's like jelly rubber. Yeah.
Bit chewy.
Yeah.
Bit
chewy.
Oh. Okay, Trent, I would use scissors,
Trent.
mate.
Yeah. Let's go to Kira in Baldivis. Hi, Kira.
Hey guys.
Hey, Kira.
Is there a wussy dad in your life too?
Oh, he's so wussy.
I love
My
him.
dad loves fishing like crazy. He'd go out every single day if you let him, but he's deadly scared of fish.
So hang on. He's scared of fish.
It's like he'll catch one and you can sort of see the pain in his face as though he's reeling it in going, oh God, like I don't want to do this. And then the fish comes up and it's flapping around and that's just too much for him. So many times he's just cut the wire and just let the fish go because he's too scared to touch it.
Kira!
It's like
That's an oxymoron.
When I was a kid and I used to go fishing, I didn't want to touch a fish, so I'd fish and catch a fish and then I hand it to Dad and then get him to take it off there. But I was like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, none of that. And he's actually like an ex-submariner as well, so...
What are you doing? This ex-submariner. He must have been terrified while he was working.
I love that he loves fishing so much, but catching fish horrifies him.
Oh, yeah,
that
a
is...
few times he's gone out with my boyfriend to sort of, to bond, but he'll forget, like, to put the hook on the line. So my boyfriend's like, I'm catching all these fish. Why aren't you catching any? Dad's like, it's just bad luck, mate. And he's forgotten to put the hook on because he doesn't want to touch them.
Oh, my God.
So he just loves standing on a boat dangling a line into the water.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually want to catch anything.
No.
What?
Oh my God,
Wuss.
every
Billion
Christmas
fish.
I will buy him a stick with some string on it.
He's really
And he's going to
easily-
knock yourself out, Dad.
And some fish fingers so he can cut to the chase.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.